Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Moms in a Huddle. We're in the huddle. No parent stands alone. I am your host, Erika. I am the mom. And this happens to be the father of Samaj Morgan at the University of Michigan. He is a wide receiver in his third season with the University of Michigan. And I will say, this is not Jillian Blackwell. But Jillian is out today, but she will be back with us next week, and we got a good show for you. We actually have today Mr. Brrr. What's your name?
Smudge Morgan. How y'all doing?
Now you got to
Thanks
be
for having me today
Okay. So
as your co-host.
Yeah, thank you, honey. Thank you so much for joining us. You are in the huddle today with Jillian and Erika today, but you're in the huddle actually with your wife. How about we talk about a little what we did over the weekend? What did we do this weekend?
We traveled to Nebraska for the game. What an awesome time. Love the fans and the people in Nebraska. When you talk about just first class people, how respectful, how friendly, how organized they are as a town, as a football program. That's my second time there. I went to a national championship too. Even though we won handily the first year, this year was a little more tougher. Uh, the fans were just awesome, congratulating us when we were leaving, walking to the car. Nebraska is really, their fan base is on a different level. That's why they are one of the top fan bases in America. So kudos to Nebraska University. Y'all do such a great job. So that's where we went. We traveled. We left here about 4 p.m. Got down to Coralville, Iowa, like at midnight. Went to sleep, jumped back up, was on the road at 7 a.m. Central Time. Got down to Lincoln around 11:30. Went to a tailgate. Went to get something to eat for lunch. Went to the stadium to watch a great afternoon of college football. So we came out victorious, which we wanted.
Go blue.
And we just had a really good time in Nebraska, and came back yesterday. About 10-hour drive. We stayed in Omaha like Saturday night after dinner. Came back. So what a great time.
Man, that was a great weekend. What a lot of people don't know is I don't like to fly. So this year, my husband said, would you like to drive down to Nebraska? We've never been there. So he drives and takes a lot of trips with me because I don't like to fly a lot. I will fly. I flew for the, when did I fly?
Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl. So I did fly at that time, but he actually decided to drive me down, and I don't have to get behind the wheel. So that's a blessing. Okay. But for the most part, we have a great day today as relates to bringing special guests to the huddle. This guest that we are bringing today is none other than Jason Sheppard. Some of you may say, who the heck is Jason Sheppard, right? Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. Do you know who Jason Sheppard is, honey?
Oh, yeah. His name is Shep. Everybody call him Shep. Jason Sheppard is a little too formal for him. He really laid back, super nice guy. So when you call him Shep, he like pump his chest a little bit when you call him Shep. So you can read his bio. But I met Shep over a year ago at the Sharon Moore golf outing. You'll read that he's a lobbyist, Kelly and Cawthorne. We sat there. We were sitting there. I was talking to Dave Hemmick of Morgan Stanley, and Jason said, "Hey, I'm a lobbyist." I said, "You a who?" And I said, "God always put me in the right places at the right time, because at that time I had interviewed some lobbying firms for the foundation, and then JJ McCarthy dad, Jimmy, introduced me and Shep, and it's like, hey, take care of my man Maj, and take care of his beautiful wife. They actually doing the work. So I've been knowing Shep for about 14 months, 15 months now. Him and his lovely wife, Kelly. So Shep is a real good guy, and you can read his bio now.
Yeah, and thank you for that, honey, because he's very personable to our family. He happens to be our lobbyist for the Samaj J. Morgan Foundation. And when I say he's taken our foundation to the next level, I think that, sometimes reading a person's bio does not always speak volumes, but the authenticity of who Jason Sheppard is, you will see it when you hear the interview. But I will read his bio because I don't ever want to shortchange anyone on the what what it took for them to get to where they are. Jason Sheppard joined Kelly Cawthorne after serving 6 years in the Michigan House, where he served as a majority whip and government operations committee chair. And not only is he just at the firm, he's also a partner. He also led a successful effort to lower Michigan's notorious high auto insurance rates. We want to thank you for that, Jason. Jason has also a real estate background and a passion for making deals. He hails from Monroe, Michigan, which is the hometown of General George Custer. Some of the fun facts about him: he's a University of Michigan fan, which makes him a distinct minority in his firm, in which I didn't even know that, he was a distinct minority. We always think that everybody loves Michigan, but he's a minority at his firm. Some of his media honors. He joins Kelly Cawthorne as it relates to Monroe News. There's different articles you can read there, but he's with the Michigan Manufacturers Association Legislature of the Year, Michigan Firefighters Association Legislature of the Year. He's champion of change in Monroe County Substance Abuse Coalition. He is also a part of Make It Loud Award, where they gave him an award of the Bedford Robotics, as well as the Whiteford Future Farmers Association, which is, he got a certificate of achievement there. He pretty much specialized in healthcare, transportation, business development, construction and real estate, financial services, and cannabis. His experience pretty much goes as it relates to a state representative, House Republican whip. We're going to ask him about that whip because it sounded like he was whipping people in shape in the House of the Republicans there. Government Operations Committee Chair, Monroe County Commissioner. He's an associate signature associate. He has education from Michigan State University. We'll go blue on that. And also University of Toledo, Leadership Monroe graduate, Exchange Club of Monroe Count. Now, when you got letters in some of these things, because he got some letters in some of these, the TMA COG, I don't know what that is, but he's probably going to tell us, the SEM COG, the Ducks Unlimited, and the Waterfowl USA. I do know he's recently engaged to the beautiful Kelly. Her name just happened to be Kelly. I call her Kelly Nicole. We love her. We love her family and and their 3 children that they have. So we are just honored to introduce to you pretty much our buddy Jason Sheppard. Come to the stage.
That was just so much going on at one time, but I appreciate it completely. And the sun is like right in the door, but that's okay. You have to deal with it a little bit.
Looking good, Shep. What's up?
What is up? By the way, that was a great bio. And to note, I was the only legislator to win the Michigan Auto Dealer Association Legislator of the Year.
That's right. Give it up for Shep, y'all.
Good shot. Yeah.
So we on Moms in the Huddle, but we always want to be creative and innovative and bring different special guests on, so what's going on in the world, because you might not know you have a direct correlation with sports. And a lot of things that you do, and people might say, oh, well, how does a lobbyist fit in Moms in the Huddle? Because guess what? He brings a lot of knowledge and expertise, and basically a lot of industries that we need to know about, like we talked about real estate, politics, just everything. So we happy to have you on here, Shep. So that's my man, Shep. Y'all.
You guys are family to me.
That's
so
right.
This is just an elevated level. You guys are family. So.
And I had an accident on the lake. On the jet ski. We went down to Shep house on the lake. Beautiful house on the lake. I'm flying through the lake, shut the Sea-Doo down, and ran into the back of the neighbor's boat.
Yeah, who's a Michigan State fan. So that's always good when you have that. He's a cool neighbor. I will say this. I was looking out my window, watched it occur. Once I saw you were moving, I'd figure you're fine. I'll just get down there when I can. Junior was driving the golf cart. I'm surprised that didn't roll over going down the hill a little bit. But other than that, it was pretty good. So what we did is we put some duct tape on that jet ski. Once it comes out of the water in the fall, I'll get it all a little fiberglassed up. But right now, we're just going to go with it. So it's a good story to tell everybody. Yeah. And then over Labor Day weekend, a few of Samaj's fellow players were at the house. And they all wanted to know where the jet ski was that senior hit, which boat. So we had to make sure that we were we were pointing out exactly where everything was at. So I think that's why they wanted to come to the house, just to see the jet ski. After that, I'll never see him again. So that's fine.
Right.
You probably won't. But I will say, and I will say this: you have been so intricate in a lot of the things that Samaj has done with his foundation. I first want to start with a little information about you. We talked about you being a minority whip in the Republican and
Majority whip.
Majority whip. I'm sorry.
Don't
Majority
make sure we're in leadership here.
Yeah, we got to put you up there. And you was at the chair too, right?
I was chair of a committee, yes. So
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't leave that out, Jason. You know I love you. I can't leave that out. Okay. Don't forget, he's a partner of Kelly Cawthorne, y'all. Don't forget. But I will say, explain to us, what was your duties when you were there doing that? You were there 6 years. Let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm. So it was my last term in office, so my final 2 years. So basically how this works is your own caucus, your own party, all the people elected within the House, they choose leadership positions. So it's a vote of your own peers. So you have the speaker, you have speaker pro tem, you have floor leader, and then you have majority whip. And there's associates that go along with that, but those are the main key voted on positions. So my job was to basically make sure that the people in the caucus would get the votes that we needed to get bills passed, to get legislation done. So my job was to get 56. So I had an office on the 3rd floor of the Capitol. We would bring members in and out of there. There's nothing like convincing a member with a good steak dinner and some wine to make sure that they figure it out. So we used to have a lot of fun at the Capitol office. We did some amazing things during that time. I will say this: I served in leadership during a COVID year, so it was challenging for the state of Michigan during that time. The Speaker of the House and other members of leadership would have to. We'd have meetings all hours of the evening, early morning hours, in the afternoon, getting briefings from not only like our own governor and hearing briefings from her, but also President of the United States. We were on several conference calls with the president and vice president getting briefed on the nation's response to the COVID-19 virus. So it was a very interesting time to serve in the legislature. And then the committee I chaired, it was one of 4, we called them at the time super committees, which means all bills that came out of our committees could go directly to the floor for a vote. All the other committees, they had to vote and then get put into one of the other committees, vetted then on the floor. So my committee was either made to get a bill done fast or to kill it. So if you ended up in my committee, it could be good or be really bad. So that's how that worked out. And the speaker found it fit that I needed to chair that committee. So we did. It was definitely an interesting time to serve in the legislature. Had an opportunity to run for more office posts. I termed out. 6 years is what was the term limit at the time. But when I had an opportunity to come to Kelly Cawthorne and become a lobbyist and kind of hone in on those skills, I couldn't pass it up.
Which actually takes me there. You are at Kelly Cawthorne as a partner. Mm-hmm. When you got there, what were some of the things you wanted to do to implement change in where you were coming from, and what do you want to do in your new area there as a lobbyist?
Well, I'm going to start off with this thing. There's very few legislators that have left the legislature and become lobbyists at firms. Okay, it's a very different skill set. What I mean by that is when you're the elected official, everybody wants to cater to you, right? Because you're the one they have to give the vote for. Once you're out, everybody forgets who you were and what your name is, basically, at that point. I think that's why there's a little correlation between athletes and what I do. I'm not athletic enough to be a professional or a college or probably middle school, right?
All right.
However, I know as well as everybody else that once you achieve a certain level and once you're not doing that anymore, or maybe you're not at the level of some of the others, you're forgotten, right? You're kind of a commodity. That's elected officials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is where they come in, they come out, right? So it's really hard to translate. When I had the opportunity to do this, I'm very humbled at the ownership of Kelly Cawthorne to bring on somebody that's a legislator that has a background in real estate, and they saw something like I knew I had in me to be able to be successful at this, but it's a big risk for a company, right?
Right.
It is.
Big risk. So my goal was to come in and to say, look, I'm going to bring in X number of clients. My goal was to become partner. My goal was to have an office in Ohio, which we do now. The firm actually purchased an office, so we have a firm in Ohio that we also have that I travel back and forth on. So it was to grow and to create a business development book. So in my short time there, just the number of clients that I've been successful at bringing in and maintaining, and also focused on that business side, that business development side, which is a niche that not many people in Lansing or in Columbus were actually doing. So I help companies because of my background in real estate and background in development, I can help navigate companies through all sorts of stuff, whether it's getting government dollars, whether it's figuring out permitting processes, whether it's site selection, whether it's working with local governments. So that's what I get brought in to do. Projects come in, and it's my job to figure out a way to get them from an idea to a completed building.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Well, Shep, it's been over. It's been about 15, 16 months for us since we met. Like you say, we brought Jason on for our foundation because we needed a voice at the table to help us out. And that's one thing I noticed. And, in the foundation world, you need somebody to advocate for you. Jason has done a great job for our foundation. We have established a relationship with Walmart through because of Jason spearheaded it. So we're very thankful for that, Jason. So Jason, just tell the audience, how you go about helping not just private companies, but public companies. Like, what's your role? What's your main goal? How do you find opportunities and like dollars for companies to make sure that we can continue doing what we do out here?
Well, first and foremost, I'll say I'm very choosy when I'm going outside of my business development role as to who I try to associate and work with. And you guys were a perfect fit. Thanks. From the perspective of every client is different, right? They have different needs, different wants. A few weeks ago, I was working on getting a drone permit for a drone show for a client. Some days it's finding, a mechanism to where they can, put in sites, put in underground, put in whatever, get through brownfields. For the nonprofit side of things, it's no different than business development, except it's for a different cause, right? I'm not here helping you for an end game of, building a 1 million square foot building or something, right? I'm here for you on something that I believe in and something that I've witnessed just being around you and your son is that heart for the community, right? And if I can take time, energy, effort, connections, and I throw a lot at the wall. You already know this. I bring you in front of and I have you talk to whoever. Does everything pan out exactly as we say or does? Probably not. But at the end of the day, do things pan out? Yes, because I'll just throw stuff at the wall. Sometimes I'm one of those people that you have to tell me to put the brakes on. I'll keep doing stuff until you tell me to stop.
Right.
So how I try to do that is see what the needs are, right? I mean, when you talk about the stuff that's your events, the turkey drives, the toy drives, those type of things, even the Mother's Day, the Father's Day. Yeah. It's my brain that goes into the mode of, okay, what people, what connections, what businesses, what resources. And it's really a total firm effort in full disclosure. Like I go to my other lobbyists, the partners, the owners and say, this is what we have going on. And we try to make it a group effort to find things that plug and play. And then there's some outside stuff that I work on that I can shift your way. And I just know that, hey, these people may not be a client of mine right now, but they'd be great for your foundation. So we just try to mold it all together, and it's connecting dots. And sometimes those are things that I've learned that it's hard to teach that. You just kind of have to have the mindset of knowing this dot, this dot, this dot, and not be afraid to just throw stuff at the wall.
Right.
Throw it at the wall. So somebody tells me no, I keep pushing like it's a yes.
They don't really tell you no.
They don't.
They don't. I mean, I push it pretty hard. It might be, I always say if it's a no, it's actually a maybe. Does it happen this month? No, but it's going to happen the months down the road because I don't go away.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
And that's what's so impressive. I will say I did see some of your employees come out when they were helping out with the backpack giveaway. Kelly Cawthorne came representing with their shirts on. And I was very impressed that they came out to even support that type of cause. Like, you guys are making it your business to give back to the community too. So Jason, we appreciate that. We do have some questions here from our chat. Tony says, can you walk us through what a day of lobbying looks like?
Oh man. That is a great question. I get asked that of my own family because they don't know what I do. I mean, my mom and sister still don't know what I do.
Right.
Well, I can tell you this. The best way to answer that is every day is different. There is no typical day of what it is that we do as lobbyists. But I'll take it from my perspective. Every day I have my schedule. Every day there's set things on my schedule. Whatever's in between those set things on my schedule, I'm making phone calls, either try to get new business, try to do follow-ups, or connecting and touch points, right, with everybody. And there's days I'm in Lansing. There's days I'm in person meetings. There's days when I can be totally virtual. There's days I'm in Detroit. There's days I'm in Columbus. This week I got to go down to Toledo for meetings, right? So it just really varies on what's at hand. I would say most lobbyists, they have a focus either on policy or something that's got to be changed legislatively, right? Bills and those type of things. I don't have a lot of that with my clients, which I prefer, in full disclosure. I think my brain is too chase squirrel ADD-ish to just be focused on policy all the time.
Right.
I'm glad to not become a lawyer. But on the flip side, my day is just consistent of on the phone, very early morning, very late night sometimes, and a lot of interactions with elected officials, leadership, all the way up to the governor and all the way up to congressional folks. Just puzzle pieces. Putting puzzles together.
Right. That's a good lead in segue into you connecting your dots, right? We had an opportunity to be presented with a resolution on the House floor with Senator DeMoose and Senator Bear. And it's not typical to have support across aisles. And we did, with thanks to you and your firm. We are a fairly new foundation, so a lot of things that we try to accomplish, we don't hit the minimal thresholds. So that's another reason why we said, Jason, we need your help, because if we just try to write grants and we only been around 3 years, it's minimum things that you have to to have when you do these things. So, but this is Senator DeMoose and Senator Bear. She's not running for re-election again. But we had a chance to go down to Lansing. And Shep, how did you orchestrate this? I mean, this is you only give so many. They only give so many out a year. Right. How were you able to orchestrate this for our foundation with the senators?
So, one, I always try to take where the foundation actually is and try to get you connected with the local elected officials, right? Because a lot of times the local electeds don't really know what's going on to some micro level in their community. They hear the big names and the big events, but sometimes it's always good for them to hear. Senator DeMoose is an interesting one. Senator DeMoose is nowhere near Oakland County. He's in Traverse City. Okay, he's up north.
Yeah.
Right? Senator DeMoose happened to be at a Michigan football game. And that's when I said, you're coming over to the family tailgate. You're going to come say hi to some people. Then post that, we're going to work on something together. And you're going to be the champion of this. That's kind of how that conversation was had. From that point on, we continued to figure out ways that we can elevate what's going on, because once the senator really heard what your foundation stands for and how amazing that you guys are and your son is on giving back to the community, it was a no-brainer to dive right in. And since that time, being on the Senate floor like that, there's been other senators that we've gotten the pleasure of getting to know and wanting to help us. You know, Senator Camilleri is another one who chairs education.
Right.
And so having said that, it helped that DeMoose is a huge Michigan fan. That's helpful. DeMoose is originally from the Detroit area, so he knows the area. And with Senator Bear, it's her district, right? She wants to see foundations and people succeed in her district. So it's the connection points. It just made sense to come up with something to get some notoriety to the foundation, because as we work through a governmental process, as we work through getting eligible to receive some state funds for the foundation for specific projects and priorities, everybody has to know who our name is, right? So.
Wow. Well, before it looks like Professor Reynolds want to ask you a question. Do you serve small nonprofits?
He had another question on there too. I think you missed it. There was two.
But yeah, she actually said, I've been working with nonprofits for over 10 years, and I've never heard of a nonprofit using a lobbyist firm to get funds. Game changer. Hands up. Yeah. So, Professor Reynolds she has a nonprofit. She's an accountant. She helps so many people in her profession, and she does different things. So I'm guessing she wants to know. I'd never heard of a lobbyist helping until my husband kind of came and said, hey, we got a lobbyist. I'm like, wow. So that's a good question. Do you serve small nonprofits?
We do. I mean, we have all variety of them as a firm. Some of the ones I work with is obviously you folks working with Sound Mind, Sound Body with Curtis Blackwell's group. We work with DBG, which is in downtown Detroit, large after school program. Yeah. So I've been working with them for about 3 years. Actually helped secure them $3 million out of the last budget to expand their building. Work with Diversified Services, Community Services, which is somebody you know very well, Samaj.
Eric.
Yeah.
Yep. So yes, all kinds. Our firm itself has Habitat for Humanity, just different groups that are even larger. So yes, the answer is yes. If it's a fit and it works and there's a goal in mind, right, and we're just trying to figure it all out, definitely would. So.
Okay. And Professor Reynolds have another question. Can you share some tips when applying for grants? Just a few. She's laughing. But here's the thing. Make sure that you're liking, commenting, and subscribing to Moms in a Huddle. We bring all this information for you as parents, as people that are out there in the community, for you to know and understand. That's one of the reasons we brought Jason Sheppard in. So many good questions are coming out. So we want to know, do you have any tips on when applying for grants?
So the biggest thing I can tell you, and then Samaj can back me up because I've told him to quit chasing his tail. You have to, because Samaj, like me, he'll just throw stuff at a wall too. The grant situation is you have to make sure that it fits whatever your foundation is, right? The devil's in the details with grants. So that's the first advice I always give. If I have a foundation coming to me and saying, hey, we're going after this grant for either a state or another foundation, like a Balmer group or something like that, I always make sure that it fits the mold of what they're trying to do, because that's you'll spend so many time, hours, energy trying to put all this paperwork, and at the end of the day, it doesn't even fit what they're going to even fund you for.
Right.
So that's the biggest misstep that I've seen of nonprofits. is that they apply for grants, they don't get them. Well, the reason they don't is because there's something they don't do that the grant's specific to doing.
Right.
So
wow, that's very good. And Jason, I will say a lot of athletes, let's get on athletes for a second. They have nonprofit organizations, right? They have these nonprofit organizations. We may see them participate in it, but how important is it for now in the NIL for if you have a nonprofit, for you to be able to utilize your nonprofit to be able to be a blessing to your community? What would you say you do to assist in that with certain athletes? I know it's Samaj, and do you work with a broader scope of athletes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So actually, I've been helpful in forming, going on 3 or 4 through Michigan and even outside of Michigan. I'm working with a North Carolina player actually as well too, to even get it started for them. Get the paperwork in, create the board of directors, figure out what your mission is. Okay. From that point on, depending on how they want to see it grow, will depend on what my next move is with them. You know, there could be a point where I just come in, set things up, and I'm not a part of it going forward, which is fine. I did what I needed to do to help you. Or I'm a big part of it, you know, sitting on the board. One of the more recent folks that I'm working with, I'm sure you and your listeners remember the Detroit Lion player that got injured in the preseason game where they stopped the whole game, and it was
yeah.
So I'm working with him on his foundation and how to talk about, you know, athletes that either were injured and they can't do it anymore. You know, there's different missions he has. But the one thing I've found is, and I'm going to tell you something interesting. Jim McCarthy and I were just talking about this morning. Okay. We had a very long conversation today about what does things look like in the future? Because it's honestly growing into something that is kind of interesting. So soon we're going to have high schoolers being paid. And soon we're going to be competing at a national level with high schools. We're watching our talent in the state of Michigan go to other states when they're getting out of middle school. Okay. How do we bring that back here to Michigan? How do we create an environment where we're not losing these athletes to other states? How do we become competitive? Because this is the thing. Whether you agree with paying college or high school players, that train has left the station. Now what we have to decide is, what do things look like in the future? And how do we shape it to where these athletes and these, let's just call them what they are, kids, get that sense of community, understand what it means to make money that probably a lot of them, their families don't make that much money. Right. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of athletes out there where their families are not making the money that they are, just playing college ball.
Yeah. Right.
What do you do with that? Right. How do you bring that home? And that's one of the things when I talk to families that want my assistance, I'm very clear that I'm not here to assist you in buying a Lamborghini. I'm here to assist you in creating something to where that day on the field that nobody wants, but that could happen where you don't play again, right? Where you're not there anymore.
Right.
What did you do with the time and the resources that you were given during that time that you could do this, right? Are you good stewards of that?
Right.
Are you giving back to the community? Because that's one of the things that, again, I make the correlation to them. Elected officials, it's a lonely world. Because you don't really know who your friends are. You don't really know who likes you for you or who's just using you.
Right.
That is true.
The very same way. You know, is that sports agent you're working with a good guy, bad guy, good girl, bad girl? You know what I mean? Are they for you or they just drop you on a dime? Is that other consultant person you might be talking to good, bad, or indifferent? Is that person wandering around the parent tailgate thinking they have all the answers? Somebody that's actually for you? Or just wants the notoriety of you, right? And that's how I look at it, right? When I think about Samaj Jr., at the end of the day, if something happens to him and he's not playing football, he's still my Samaj Jr. We're running a foundation. We're going to make sure that kid's got all the life in front of him, right?
Yes.
That's what's important. Set your foundation now. Get your life in front of you, because don't make that your identity. Your identity is your home, your community, what you give back, and that's what you got to focus on.
Wow.
That's right.
That's good information, Jason. That's one of the reasons. I mean, when we're just small talking and even sitting at your home, you always, to me, seems to give like a wealth of knowledge, meaning you've been there, you've seen it, and you want our boys to understand it. So as we talk about Michigan, you are a Michigan Wolverine fan. Go Blue. Tell us about your journey there, because you did go to MSU. That's okay. But
for 2 years, I was there for 2 years. But I wore maize and blue on campus, so that really didn't end well for certain days. I've been a Michigan fan since birth.
Okay.
And when people ask me why I went to Michigan State, I always say I was too dumb to get into Michigan, and MSU will take anybody. So that's usually my response.
Right.
Well, how you handle being down in Columbus, being a Michigan fan?
Yeah, I don't really wear maize and blue in Columbus. I've learned I don't want my car keyed or tipped over, so I just kind of stick to a neutral color when I go to Columbus. So my journey into Michigan, huh? All right. Well, it's an interesting one. Like I said, from birth, I mean, I grew up 40 miles south of Ann Arbor, right? So you either have your decisions. You're either a Buckeye or you're a Wolverine. This is how it was when you grew up in Monroe County. So those are your options. I have some of my family members that are huge Buckeyes. I just grew up being a Wolverine. So, and very supportive of all the athletics of the school. Got to know the Michigan folks in my time in the legislature is kind of where a lot of that somewhat started. Attending the games, getting to know the presidents at the time, just kind of being around the university, but not too deep into the athletics, just enjoying being there. What occurred is a random phone call on a random evening from one of my partners at the firm, actually, who got a call from somebody he knew out of Chicago. Basically said that there's some people looking for tickets to see the Lions game, and their names are JJ McCarthy and Donovan Edwards. So if you guys are around Michigan circles long enough, you kind of know what JJ McCarthy and Donovan Edwards. So it was an interesting phone call. Obviously, when you're sitting there getting those phone calls, you're like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? This is not probably who it is. Well, lo and behold, the Lions game shows up, and there's Jimmy McCarthy walking down the hallway with Adam. Those of you that know Adam know who I'm talking about. Those that you don't, Adam is a very intricate part into the McCarthy family. So we no Edwards this time. It was just the McCarthys, which was fine. Got to know Jimmy, and he invited me to parents' tailgates, and I kind of got to learn the culture. That grew into getting to know more and more people around the program, and getting to know the Biles, getting to know the Morrises, who are no longer at U of M, but still friendships, right? The Crippens, Morgan, now the Marshes. There's a lot of families that I'm getting more and more acquainted with and getting to know just from the connection points. And I think that the one thing that I can tell you is, and Jimmy will tell you the same thing. I never ask anybody for anything. At the end of the day, I don't ask for tickets. I don't ask for anything.
No, you don't.
I provide food for the parents' tailgates every home game because I want to do that, right? I enjoy being around the program. I enjoy the friendships that I've made. It's kind of blossomed into Coach May needing some assistance with visas for one of his basketball players, which we got done for Vlad Golden, which we became close friends. Vlad and Coach May and I are, we text each other, we stay in touch, we try to figure out things that I can help with the basketball program, right? So just trying to make sure that the athletes are not, as much as I can, right? There's a lot of them and a lot of their own opinions, but just being around the program and just making sure that the families and the athletes and the people surrounding the program, have a good feeling about it. And whatever assistance I can be, I will be. If they just want.
Yeah, you are amazing. I will say, if you look in a dictionary, you may see for your picture under the thing of is not what you know, it's who you know. Because you have connections that go deep. People don't realize that connections will get you into doors, open up doors for you. And sometimes it is really who you know, you know. So I think that you are very intricate for a lot of our athletes. Like I said, for our family, I know you just mentioned you work with the Crippens, the McCarthys, the Marsh family that just came in. And we are appreciative and we enjoy coming to a lot of the barbecues that you have when you do come to Michigan and tailgate with us. So you are really a person that people really need to get to know and really need to know about. Let's see. Tony has a question for you. Can you give an example where lobbying directly changed an athlete's career?
I would say that does it change their career? I mean, what they do what athletes do on the field is a special talent, right? That they do. But where I think that the added value comes into having a relationship with somebody that's, the word lobbyist means a lot of things, but I think that you said it best when you said connections and deep connections and who you know. I think that's where it can broaden out a little bit, right? That's where it gets to where, you're getting to meet more and more people in the business community. You're getting to meet more and more people that want to be involved in your foundation. You're getting to, kind of get a rounded approach as to things that are going on, right? Because sometimes I think with athletes, they're laser focused on their job at hand, which is to be the best they can be on the field, right? But there's a secondary to that. And I always go back to, for every one first round draft pick, think about how many thousands that don't ever get picked past a certain level, right?
So true.
They all need something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's those connections, it's those things. And I think that's what makes it such a unique industry, because at any moment, something can happen. And you have to have a background on something else besides just that being your identity, or it could lead to trouble, right? Mm-hmm. You could lead to where you don't have any friends. You don't have people trying to help you out. So I try to make a deeper rooted connection with just even the clients that I serve. They're more friendships. They're deeper than that. And I know Samaj has had the pleasure of being around some other people I work with in one-on-one situations. And I know I'm probably not speaking out of turn when I say we have a deeper friendship. It's not just a transactional thing. I try to get to
that.
Right?
That's right.
Because you have to. And it's the only way this works. And I feel that way about a lot of these families. So I know that didn't answer any of your question. That was a total, elected official answer to directly change, but I could just say.
I will say you gave a very good answer because you got people really intrigued in what you're presenting today. Tony asked another question. Lobbying sometimes has a negative reputation. How do you ensure your work is ethical and transparent, especially when working with athletes? I like that question.
That's a great question. And I'll say this, I do have 2 of the bottom 3. If I was a lawyer, I would have all 3 of the worst polling, worst polling jobs I could possibly have. Elected official, lobbyist, and attorney. I could have all 3 wrapped up. Walk around, walking through a wall.
Right.
I guess to answer that is there's got to be trust. There's got to be trust between the person you're working with, and there's got to be trust with the people that you're introducing them to. Right. That's how you keep it ethical and transparent, honestly. Everything's got to be above board. Everything's got to be, and I will say this, when there is a contractual relationship, so let's just say it gets to that point, right, where I'm contracted to do something.
Right.
It's very simple, very straightforward, and there's no quid pro quo, right? There's no, I'll do this for you and then I get paid. Because that will lead to unethics, right? You just got to have a straight up, here's what it costs. Here's the goals that we're going to try to meet. If you don't like me or you don't think we're meeting those goals, then fire me. I'll let my work and reputation keep you, right? And so, and that's what retention is. That's what that trust factor is. That's how we do that. It's likened to anybody that you're going to hire. Financial advisors, right? I was asked about Dave, Himmick, and said, to be honest, I would, if Dave told me to run through that wall, I would just run through it because I trust him that much.
That's right.
He's not leading. He's not leading these kids elsewhere.
That's right.
And so that's the kind of relationship I have.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And you talk about relationships. You have introduced me to some of your closest friends.
Yeah.
I just had lunch with Eric last week from Mannequin Smith Group. I mean, we just be sitting in there, man. We be having such a good time, just kicking it. Yeah. We talk about football. We talk about life. Steve from Naked Capital. I mean, you have a really good circle of friends. And like you said, just not transactional. Like y'all really trust each other. Y'all love each other's families. So when I say our relationship has grown over these years, it's incredible how you have let us into your network because you trust us. So we talk about being transparent and honest and open. You know, you talk about Dave Hemmick. You know, Dave can call me too right now and say, run through that wall. Bam, I run through the wall. Yeah. I talked to Dave today. He called, hey, how was the trip? Our friendship has grown over the years. And we thank you for just letting us be in your circle and just around the people that you call your friends and you trust us to be around them. Yeah. When you talk about ethics and transparency, you guys are at the top of the list. So that was a great question by Tony. And I just want everybody to know that we have a team like surrounding us. We're not the experts at everything. So we go to Jason for this. We go to Dave Hemmick for this. We go to Owen for this. Right. Because we want the right people around our son as well as being around these other athletes because we love these athletes. So we don't want outside people coming in trying to take advantage of people.
That's right.
And with agencies and firms like yourself, just another layer of protection. So I just want everybody to know that's watching that like this is really true, authentic relationship. Yeah. And it's a lot of trust there. It's just because we're around each other families and we want to make sure that, you know, this utmost respect for each other and also in the business community. So there's no unethical stuff going on.
Absolutely.
So especially when
I let you wrap my jet ski. I don't know how much more we still talk to you. So I don't even know.
Y'all just like nothing happened. I'm like, I felt so bad. But hey,
your family.
I could have seen me. I was standing there watching it happen, and when it happened, I just put my hands up and turned around, act like I ain't even know. I'm like, you know what?
I think Kelly is track star. She got from the house to the lake in probably like 2 seconds.
She is a nurse, so she went into nurse mode. I went into, I'm just going to stroll down there because he looks like he's still moving. So at this point, I think he's not that badly injured. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to, you know, the rest of the season. We're looking forward to next year. We know we have some goals and things set up.
Yeah.
Thanks to you and your firm. You got a wonderful firm.
Yes.
You know, you guys was wonderful. So, what's big? What's next for you? I know you're always working on something big.
Yeah.
What's coming down the pipe? Tell us what's going on.
I am always working on something big. So, what's interesting is this whole sports side of things. In full disclosure, it's been really running my brain into how we can, make some things work and try to get the right people involved. It is one of the reasons I was talking to Jimmy today, right? Just to kind of get a feel for it. Because I'm just going to be honest with you. Nobody really knows what the next 5 years of college or high school look like, right? NIL is not going to look the same, right? At the end of the day, my prediction is you're going to have a Big Ten, you're going to have an SEC, you're going to have basically looking like an AFC and an NFC. You're going to have some sort of league commissioner. You're going to have some sort of salaries. You're going to have some sort of structure because the way it's set up right now, it's very challenging. Mm-hmm. So I say that to say, for me, learning all of this and taking the last couple of years and just kind of dissecting of where things are, I think there's a real need for not just here in Michigan, but everywhere that has a college athletes and high school or whatever, for that kind of X factor that can help from start to finish, set things up, right? Set up the foundation, set up your LLCs, and then just connect you with the right people to help you get through, whether it's certain types of brand ambassadorships, whether it's certain types of just getting to know your community, being part of other nonprofits, learning you know what I mean? I just feel like there's something missing out there because it's a whole new world. So it's one of these things I'm trying to figure out what a structure looks like, how it can work scalable, and how it can make sense. Because what I do is so different. I'm not a sports agent. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer, right? But man, everybody that I've worked with has seen a benefit of just the connections and the moves that can be made, and just the mentorship that could be there, the internship opportunities, all of that.
Right.
I think there's a niche for that, and just trying to figure out what that looks like. Because I'm just here to tell you, this high school thing is on the brink of some major dollars coming into it. Major dollars.
It is.
What do you know? I'm going to be 15 years old, 14 years old, and getting paid.
Yeah.
You're not, but the family is, right? I mean, I don't know. Just from my perspective on that side of things, I'm really on that. As far as the business side, I'm telling you, like for me, it's just figuring out where the next big project is. I'm under several non-disclosure agreements on some big projects that'll be happening in Michigan. I'm working on a pretty large project in Ohio right now that's taking up a lot of different time. We have budget season upon us, which should have been done long ago because the legislature wants to be in dysfunction for a little bit right now, and then we just go with it. I am being told sometimes I'm a little too calm when it comes to certain things that go on in Lansing, but I'm kind of a calm demeanor. Like I'm not, not excitable, right? Like it's the process. We'll see where things shake out as they shake out. The timing will be what it is. No panic button needs to be hit yet. You can never explain government, because once you use common sense in government, you've already lost. There is no common sense. There is no roadmap in government. It's just this is what we're going to do today.
Right.
So I try to navigate that, so those are, I guess, to answer that, the big things that are going on, just the growth patterns and what we're trying to do. And I'll say, as a firm, we really took a step out, which in the future, as we grow this foundation, this is yet another piece of this puzzle. We have a whole association management division now with a bunch of people that know what they're doing, that go from event management to organizations. There's a whole group, separate division that was created at our firm. And the purpose for that is the need. A lot of these associations, a lot of people we work with, they want to do events, they want to do golf outings, they want to do but they've never done them.
Right.
So we can do a la carte services. We can do all kinds of stuff at the firm to help. And that's kind of the big thing at the firm, is meshing the lobby side with event side, with compliance side, just to make us a full service industry. So
that's
why
awesome.
we don't sleep. That's why I don't get any sleep.
Right.
Well, I know one of the biggest connections that we got, even as our foundation, was with Walmart. Huge. Last year, I think we gave away 1,000 turkeys. This year, Walmart wants to partner with us again to give away not one, but 2,000 turkeys. Yeah. So
and 2,000 food bags.
And 2,000 food bags for families. So if you haven't done so already, I want you to go to our website, Moms in a Huddle, as well as go to our Instagram, Facebook. We're on X. We want you to go like, comment, and subscribe, because we are giving you great information from those that know. We may not be the experts, but we'll bring the experts in. So I will say, Jason, if someone wanted to get in contact with you and ask you any question, I know you may vet them out because you are the connection man. How can they get in contact with you? Could it be your website?
Yeah, or my email. I don't know. How do you want me to get it to you?
I think you got majority of the information on your website, right? Okay, I did see a lot of information, even your phone number. So if
you can put my email on there too, if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give them your email. Let me make sure we have that set up for that. But I will say,
you always can contact me. I know we have a lot of friends and families, and I know how to get in touch with Shep.
Yeah, just one text, one call away. I'm pretty open, and I just love to talk with whoever. I mean, at the end of the day, you never really know until you ask the question. Don't be afraid, because we don't really know where paths will lead. There's clients I work every day that have never had a lobbyist, have never dealt with a lobbyist, and then now they're thanking us for coming in, because this is something that I actually interviewed with a client one time. I have to give you the short story.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Never had a lobbyist before, and very successful company. I came into the boardroom, and literally the ownership kind of looked at me and said, "We've been this successful without one for 30 years. What do we need you for?" My response was, all the money that you have in your checking account right now, think about if that was doubled because you had me helping you.
Wow.
Guess who got hired?
You did. So it's funny because, you know, me and Jason kind of, we kind of, you know, when we together, we kind of let our guard down, and we kind of aggressive. And Coach Blackwell loved that when me and Jay kept together. We be like, "We're some killers, boy."
Yeah, we're killers. He loves it.
Y'all too, right there.
He loves it.
You know, when we together, we kind of we do our thing. You know, we not scared to go get what we want to get. We ain't scared to make a phone call. We not scared to follow up. And you got to carry that certain level of confidence when you out here. You can't be passive in this industry. So that's why I love Shep, because he like me. Shep go get it, and I love people that go get it. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanna hire Shep, you're gonna see he's super aggressive. Yes. Or, you know, guess what? You just might want to call him and talk to him. He'll talk to you. He's not like you said, it's not transactional. He would talk to you and give you good direction and tell you where to go and how to do things the right way. Absolutely. So when you dealing with people like Jason and Kelly Cawthorne and their agency, like Jason is super aggressive, and I love that about him, because I like aggressive people. Because when it's time to get something done, we got to be able to sit at the table and get it done. We can't be like twiddling our thumbs or being nervous to say, okay, we like this or we don't like that. So I think that's where we really connect that, because we kind of wired the same way. Adult ADHD, and we don't get a lot of rest, and we always thinking about the future.
Yeah, I do like when you mentioned Curtis, because there's something about getting him to laugh just cracks me up. He just loves it. Yeah, because he's always comes off so serious, and I'm just like, stop. Let's just enjoy the moment. So
he got a lot of weight on his shoulder, but you guys will help him out. He's super visionary.
We've definitely butted a good relationship, I feel like, him and I. Like he's trusting the process and the system, and I'm excited for that.
When you connect with Curtis Blackwell, if he lets you in the family, hey, don't ever take advantage or misuse that relationship, because at the end of the day, he'll give you his last so you can be successful. So that's why I love Blackwell. That's why our relationship is like it is. So if he trusts you, you know what I'm saying?
He was excited I was going to be on Moms in the Huddle today. I will say that.
You know, we had Curtis on several.
I know. That's what I sent to him.
The best podcast in the world, dog. Like, we got to do something, man. We got to take it up a notch sometime. I was like, all right, let's make it happen. You got some podcast connections too. You got to send to Moms in the Huddle.
Yes, we're working on some things, and Jason has let us know, hey, whatever you need. And we thank him for it. But I will say, Jason, it's an honor to have you. I'm going to show your email one more time. But before each guest leaves, I always ask them this one question: your journey in one word.
My journey in one word? Oh,
absolutely.
Man. That's putting me on the spot.
That's right.
I'm shocked at that, Jason, because that's not like you.
How about my journey in one word is dedication. Everything I do, I'm dedicated to.
I love that.
That's good and bad, because sometimes when you're totally dedicated, it could go in a weird direction. But I would say it's been all good and dedication. I'm very dedicated to everything that I touch and do.
Wow, I love that. It's almost like that's where trust comes from.
Yeah, it's just dedication. So that was good. That was good. That got me. I was trying to think, what's one word? That was good.
Right.
You got me.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I did. And I'm shocked because normally me and Jason can go back and forth. We'd be talking. I'd be like, Jason, you'd be like,
that one got me.
Yeah. Well, that's good because that's what I want, because that's what Moms in a Huddle do, because we're all in a huddle together. We brought you into the huddle for the parents that are in our huddle that's going to watch it for the future and that's been watching us today. So we definitely thank you for your time.
Yes.
We know you're a busy man. You made arrangements to come on. We appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you, Jason.
Absolutely. Love you guys, your family, everybody listening. This is a great podcast. I'm glad I get to be on it, and I don't have to blur my background for fear of offending anyone. So we'll
Right.
No. And before you leave, we also need you to say, I'm in the huddle.
I'm in the huddle.
Yeah.
My man Shep in the huddle, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll see you at 1:30 tomorrow.
Yes. See you at 1:30
spending every other Tuesday meeting. People don't understand. Right. It takes a lot of work.
It does.
If you're serious about this, you're gonna have to dedicate your time to meeting and making sure you got everything together. So we've been meeting every other week since June of last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And you see, dedication.
Dedication.
You just said it yourself. It's dedication.
And Shep don't miss a meeting. Let me tell you, he'll sit there. If you miss, he'll text you and say, "Hey, you missed our meeting today." Oh man, I missed like one meeting one time, and Shep texted me. It was like, "Hey man, I've been on here for 5 minutes. Where you at?"
And then you're out.
And he out. That's my window. But guess what?
Yeah.
We caught up a couple days later or whatever. So just make sure, if you looking into hiring a firm like Kelly and Cawthorne and Jason, you got to put the work in too. They're not just going to do it for you.
Yes. Right. Yes. People are loving you, Jason. So thank you for coming and being a part. We're going to have you back on Moms in a Huddle when Jillian comes back. She had tons of questions for you too. But thanks again, and we'll be in contact. Have a great one.
Thanks.
All right. Man, that was a great interview, honey, wasn't it?
That's right. My man Shep. You know, he has a lot of knowledge in a whole lot of areas.
Yeah.
And he's very, very respected in the industry.
Yeah. I mean, some of the names he didn't even throw out, some of the bigger names that he's been working a part of. But that's just how humble he is when he deals with different people and individuals and companies. He's the type of guy that sits in a room. You may not know he got that connection, but he can connect you to the people that you need help with. So if you are an athlete, an athlete's family, if you are a small nonprofit or a business, I say do go to their website. We're going to give Kelly Cawthorne a shout out. Their website is www.kellycawthorne.com, where you can find Jason and just a lot of the services that they do provide, that their businesses provide, and that you will be, that's great for especially a nonprofit to use it. One of the young ladies that did ask the question, she said, I didn't even know that Lobbyist help and assist nonprofits with funding, understanding what funding is. So we got to take that taboo out. And athletes, if you have a nonprofit, then you need to run it by Jason. You need to contact him, see what he can do for your firm. I mean, for your foundation or anything that you have lined up, because he is a good person to be connected with.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Jason is awesome guy. He works hard, super hard. So we thankful and we grateful for him. So we looking forward to 2026. Be an opportunity to us to be on the hopefully be on the appropriations. So that people that's listening is not something that happens overnight. You have to be dedicated to the cause. So if we are blessed to be on the appropriations next year, it would have took 18 months.
Yeah,
that's right. So don't think that you come in to hire a firm and think that it's going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
You have to be super dedicated to the process and patient. Just like Jason let me in his network, I let Jason into my network.
Yeah.
Because I trust him. So great show. I hope it was informational for you guys.
Yeah.
We'll get you his email. It's jshepard@kellycawthorne.com.
Yep. And don't forget to put that dash in there. We've got that up there for you, Professor Reynolds. And we'll share it with anyone. If you want to reach out to Moms in a Huddle, let us know. Again, like, comment, subscribe, watch this video again, share it with your family that may need this information, because it's good information and it's not information. We're bringing you great shows, good information for many people. All right. So, honey, how did you like being on Moms in a Huddle with me today?
It was great. Fantastic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially when you have great guests come on that can help the people, So we accomplished our goal today, and that's to get people to understand, a lobbying firm is a really good tool to get where you need to get to. Like I said, be a lot of negative things, but when you got a firm like Kelly and Cawthorne with the integrity and the resources that they have, you can't go wrong. So that was the goal, to let the world know that, hey, it might be an opportunity for you to look further into some things to help you out. So like they just added a whole new division. So guess what?
More
we
things.
About to get all that stuff. Right? Because
available.
At the end of the day, they help us be organized. And look at their website. I want y'all to go look at their website and look at the people the companies that they represent. All right? Go look. You're going to say, wow, they got some. Now, we already talked about Walmart, but they got some other big companies that they represent, not just, for profit, but nonprofit. So you can see that they clientele is pretty vast. It's different areas too. It's just not real estate. It's a whole lot of stuff. So make sure you go look at their website and look at their partners. And then when you got a Rolodex like that, that's even more of a stamp for you to look at, maybe hiring them, or just kind of like getting with Shep to help you organize your business.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for being a part of Moms in a Huddle as the guest host today. Yeah, he just has to be who he is, y'all. Thank you for being a part of Moms in a Huddle. We're in a huddle. No parent stands alone. We will be back next week for a special guest that will be coming to the studio. And these special guests, Tony said, great job, brother-in-law. So you were the one to answer all them questions. Thank you, sister. But I will say next week, we're going to have In the Huddle with the aunties. So we're going to bring some aspects from other family members that are part of Jonathan's family, which is Jillian's family, as well as my family. And they're going to come in a huddle and they're going to answer your questions about how they feel as a family that is giving support to a lot of their D1 athletes or the athletes in their family, and then how their spectrum how they look at different things. So we want to bring them next week. Next several weeks, we're going to be bringing other people. We got a special guest that I'm excited to bring. He's going to come on. He's going to talk about his time playing at Morehouse and playing with actually Denzel Washington's son, John David. They played on the same football team. I'm going to let you guys keep guessing about that guest that's going to come on. But when we bring them on, you'll want to show up for that episode. So in the huddle, no parents, what, honey?
Left behind.
Nope, left behind.
No parents, what?
Stand alone.
Oh, stand alone. We ain't leaving them behind either. We got to bring them forward. So, hey, that's my hashtag. No parent left behind.
Right. No parent
no athlete left behind.
None of them. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody, until we see each other again.
Peace.